5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve.
All right. How's everybody doing today? Here you are on a special edition Thursday of Live with Neve. Wanted to do this show on Hump Day, but incredibly some things came up. Today we've got a great guest coming on, Alecia Aichelle. The first time I heard her songs, I said, I like this girl. I like her tunes. I think the production of the record's good. And Julie and I talked about it, and here she is. She'll be on with us shortly. All I can tell you guys, I'm going to let her tell you where and how to get her music. And then we're just going to talk to her about how she started and how she got from there to here. And Julie, come on in. Let's see what you got to say. What are you thinking about this?
Knock, knock. Oh,
Hi.
Hi, how are you? How are you feeling?
I feel strong like bull.
Good.
Strong like
good.
bull. Yes.
That is good. That is good. Yeah. No, Alicia's wonderful. her just, not just vocally, but, listening to some of the new songs she has coming out, especially Household. I mean, it's just she does a beautiful job. I mean, she's like the whole package. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard. It's very hard. Those of us who work in this business, we all know. The more you have to give, and the more you have to share, that the more work you get. And if you can be the whole package, then you're golden. So
you're doing she seems to be firing on all cylinders, as we'd like to say. In fact, I'll venture to say, if she hadn't already done a deal, I would have been certainly circling in the waters, saying, hey, who are you working with? What are you doing?
Right.
I kind of like that song.
Exactly.
At any rate,
exactly.
Well, let's bring Alecia on, and everybody, without too much ado, Alecia Aichelle from Canada.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Alecia.
And what's our friend's name?
This is Cash. I'll get him up in the screen.
Oh, look at him. He is so cute. Oh, Taz, I'm going to pinch your nose.
Hi, Cash.
Taz. Look at those ears. Cash.
Cash, yes. It's named after Johnny Cash, my little
All right. There you go.
Little cowboy.
The man in black.
He has brown arms.
Oh, he's so gorgeous. Hey, Cash. Look at his ears go. He's got the rotation when every time I say his name. Cash. Cash, remember, there's only one thing in this world. It's God, glory, and family. Keep that in mind, son.
Hey, cutie
Johnny
pie.
Cash's ghost trying to come get you, Cash.
Very cutie pie. So tell us about that. So tell us about what you have coming up and your new album and everything.
Yeah, well, I just released my new single Household on March 22nd. So it's still really new, and I've been really blessed with a lot of great radio opportunities and podcasts. And thank you so much for having me on here. It's
I'm glad
to chat with you guys. And yeah, it's just been really good. It's been received well in Canada and Canadian country radio so far. And thankfully getting some international play as well, including down in the United States. So it's a good release for me so far.
Tell us, where do you live in Canada?
Well, I live in Alberta. So
in Alberta, okay.
So Alberta is just above Montana. So we're out west, and I actually was living in Nashville last year for 9 months, and then the pandemic brought me back. So it's just a matter of time before I can go back there. I left half my stuff down there with the friends that I live with down there. So
good.
I'm kind of split between two places right now, and in limbo, just waiting to see where I'm going to end up and everything. But I've got a lot of great opportunities here in Canada and down in Nashville. So
fantastic.
Well, great.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I want to mention something for some of the people watching. I know everybody was looking forward as much as I was to being in Nashville next week. I was going to be there the 9th, 10th, 11th, and I believe till the 12th. Yeah. And unfortunately, I injured my wing, so I have to be going to therapy and doing all kinds of other nonsense. Just stuff to get in the way. So, hence it's changed. But hopefully by the time you get back down there, I'll be going down to do a show again. And we actually plan to do 3 this year, and we'll just see how this how that schedule deals with my revised medical schedule. But we wanted to do one in Los Angeles in the fall. We're going to do Nashville right now, and then following, I want to do a show in Chicago, and then New York ultimately first of next year. Have a gathering, have everybody get together. When we did the Nashville thing, we were going to have a live Nashville writing session where we basically sat around in the studio. I had already written a tune for Sam Rourke, and we were going to use that as the basis, because I may be a decent songwriter and a good drummer, but I'm a horrible guitar player. So when I write a song, I have to just say, here's what I did, and now can you write me a bridge and help me out here? Throw the drummer a bone, But, so enough about me. Let's talk about you. How did you get your start in music, and what drew you to this?
Yeah, well, I've been singing since I was a little girl. Ever since I can remember, I grew up singing in church, singing in school, and and my parents introduced me to country music at a young age. I was probably 7 or 8 years old, and fell in love with country. I just fell in love with the artists and the songs, and I've always loved country music. And I grew up in Kelowna, British Columbia, so it's the furthest west province of Canada, about 4 hours from Vancouver, inland. And country music was not cool where I grew up. I definitely was not.
Oh, no.
But I just stuck to my guns, and I was like, this is who I am. And
good for you.
It's always been my passion and what I love to sing and write and listen to. So I moved to Alberta when I graduated high school and took the music program at Red Deer College. So Red Deer, Alberta is where I currently am right now. And ever since then, I've just been working super hard at building my career, making trips to Nashville, living in Nashville last year, and performing a ton of solo shows, and also with my band here in Canada.
Great. Well, when you were in Nashville, tell me, who have you been working with? Do you have agency and all that good stuff behind you?
I am a fully indie artist. I'm independent, so I'm unsigned. So I'm kind of a one-person deal here. Like I do everything, all of my bookings, all of my radio tracking, everything myself. So I'm kind of my own agent.
Well,
it's a lot of work, but it's
well, I'll see what I can do to help that out. I'll make a few phone calls to some of my friends. Just let them know that you're there. I'm not going to go and I'm just going to say there's this good chick I know. You might want to check her out, because that's what makes the world go round. I mean, I've been helped many times from people who somebody likes me and said, hey, check this person out, and they either love me or hate me. Either way, it's okay. Probably the same way for me too. No, I'm a terrible human being, as you can tell. So when do you plan? Do you have gigs coming up in Canada that you're doing right now? Is it starting to open up at all, or is it still really dead?
No, everything is still very closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Alberta, my province, we literally just opened up like restaurants and gyms again a few weeks ago.
Wow.
We might go back on lockdown coming up here. So it's been crazy. I mean, my band and I haven't been allowed to get together to practice since last November. So we're getting together next Wednesday, hopefully, unless things, close again and we're not allowed. But there have been no live shows, zero live music. So I'm definitely missing that, because the stage is where I feel the most alive.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, definitely missing that. And then seeing all my friends down in Nashville and also down in Texas, and so many of the states are wide open again.
I know.
Yeah. Florida is getting there.
Yeah, I want to get back down there, but we have a lot of travel restrictions in Canada right now. So we can't really go right now. Yeah, so just holding off until things are a little bit more open and easier to travel, and hoping to make my way back to Nashville soon. And I actually have a really great producer, Daniel Dennis, who I work with in Nashville, who I've recorded all of my music with, except their household, I recorded here in Canada at MCC Studio in Calgary, Alberta.
Okay.
And it's an award-winning studio, amazing producer there. And it was really great to work with that team of musicians and Johnny Gasparic, producer. And, you know, it was new for me because I couldn't go down to Nashville to record. So I decided I'm going to try it out.
Yeah, there's something in the water there. There definitely is.
Yeah.
And one thing I like is most of the artists I really like don't have like walls of auto tune and all that crap. You know, some people. I heard a song in a rental car about 2-3 weeks ago, and it was just awful because I wanted to like it. There was some country channel I never listened to, and I was out of town, and I listened to it, and I'm sorry, you know, I find good in almost anything you can, and I will say that the lady had a great voice, but whoever produced it, they need to remove their head and put their earphones out and listen, because it just sounded like such a wall of overproduced mush. It was vapid of any emotional content. They had auto-tuned it all out. You couldn't hear any. It just made me like in the car go, ew. God, I literally said to myself, I would give my eye teeth to record this young lady, make her sound like a record's supposed to sound like, not this, whoever had the vision for it. I think they need to check their prescription, because like me, you know, if you don't get it checked once in a while, things get worse usually. And I don't think his ears are they're probably worse than mine. I can admit, I'm a drummer. I've been playing 50 years, and my ears are shot for a good reason. But, you know, as far as recording and doing things like that, I listen to the music the artist wants to sound like. And I listen to it and I listen to it. I've been doing it long enough that I never have anybody say, man, you're deaf. You know, how do you record that record? Well, very carefully. And I pay attention. And, you know, it's like everybody. I think the best producer can stay out of the way of talent, but yet enhance the talent in a way that the talent may not recognize, because you're there to be like a concerned father figure or an uncle, or, you know, or an aunt or whatever. You just want to you got to just do your best for them. And I think I'd suggest you work with a lot of them. Everybody's got something to bring to the table, and even if you get a crap one, you'll know what to look for next time. And
I'm very blessed with working with incredible producers. Dennis down in Nashville, he is incredibly talented and also super humble, and it's incredible. And Johnny Gasparic, who produced Household, again, very talented, very humble, super nice guy. So I've been very blessed to work with great producers and great musicians, and you know, I think that's definitely something I'm thankful for.
How about, tell me about your band?
My band is awesome. So they're up here in Canada. They're all in Alberta. And we're literally like a family. We have so much fun together, and we all get along great. And I remember when our drummer joined our band, because he was kind of like the last one to join, and we had another drummer that kind of stopped drumming. And he said, this is so fun. Everyone gets along. He said, there's no egos. And I said, well, yeah, like we want to have fun. I mean, that's what it's about.
Imagine that.
Yes.
It boggles the mind.
Yeah.
It can be so simple and so fun. And, you know, it seems like over the decades, you'll have, I always have too many sessions that have been so great that when I think back, I have such a positive experience over the course of most of my life. I can say a few times that it wasn't so positive. The first time I ever entered a commercial recording studio, the band, when I was 18, and they were all in their 30s. And so we went there at 2 a.m. after a gig, showed up. We had 3 songs to record, and they were all like, I've played them 1,000 times. However, that night had to play with a click track. Never did that before. And my band just stood there. They were just giving me such helpful advice, like, will you play that, son of a bitch? What do you need, another 20 fucking takes? And it just went downhill from there, and I was struggling. Well, I walked out in the morning. We had the passable tracks, and the sun was coming up over Florida. It was getting real hot real quick. And I just went out into the sun, and I was like, I feel like I've been reborn after last night. I had every inch of skin slapped off my back.
Yeah, right.
I had at one point the guitar player going, I don't need some 18-year-old drummer telling me how to record my effing album. And I was just like, I just wanted to crawl into my drumstick bag. And, you know, it went on. The band was called Shogun, and I knew 2 of the songs were Nasty Now and what's the other one? Longboat, which is about driving in a big Cadillac on the long straight roads of Florida. I was rolling down the road on my longboat. Yeah, I can't even remember all the lyrics now, but it's been a long time considering. And so I think we need to go to a break real quick. You got time to stick around a little bit?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we'll be back with Alecia Aichelle from High in the Highlands, live with Neve. Bye. I'm Neil from Live with Neve. We have an exciting connection for our veterans, country music fans, and there is something for everyone. Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com. That's right, we've partnered with Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com. See you soon.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
Live with Neve, Fridays on the East Coast from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
I'm coming to remind you. That song is an unreleased track. It's a version of Leonard Cohen's First We Take Manhattan. Hey, Toby. And that's a version which I'm still tweaking a few things, but we're going to have a video out real soon, and I think you guys are going to like it. I like the way the song came out. I have a plethora of amazing musicians playing on it. In fact, I may have to just reach out to Toby. I watched Lee's Playhouse this morning. In fact, I'm just about to sign up for the premium thing because I just want to go and hang and get a little more access. So for everybody watching, Julie and I have been talking to Alecia Aichelle. She is from Canada, and she's a real sweetheart, and I think you'll like her songs, and we're going to bring her back on and see what makes her tick. Hi.
Hey, Alecia.
So, you're just so nice and friendly and happy. I love seeing people who are, feeling good and just having a good time, and in spite of all the misery we're watching. Those of us, I consider myself just the class clown. Not much has changed, I can tell you. And so I just make it my job to go around and, put a little light and brightness in somebody's world, say a nasty F joke or something to just take them away from their position of misery at the moment.
So what's next? So are you guys able to, how do you guys rehearse? Are you able to get together to do that in Canada since it's so shut down?
We weren't allowed to since November. So there was a few months where any indoor gatherings, even Christmas. We didn't have family Christmas. It was crazy. So so we're finally allowed. My band and I are getting together next week.
Oh, good.
Garage to practice, so that'll be fun. And as long as we don't, go on lockdown again. So fingers crossed. But
I hope so.
Yeah. And as far as shows this summer, last summer all of our festivals and rodeos were canceled, and we play a lot of festivals and rodeos here in Alberta and fairs and stuff. So this year it's hard to say. It's looking like it's going to be similar to last year.
Yeah.
So we're to get creative with just doing some drive-up shows and even some outdoor shows where people can distance. And hopefully I'll get back to Nashville and be able to play some shows down there because it is much more open. So we'll see what happens. For me, everything's just, I have a strong faith, and I'm like, hey God, where do you want me? Open the doors where the doors where you don't want me. And I just trust that it's all going to work out the way it's supposed to.
Good for you.
Well, we hope so too.
It's a journey for some of us that we're still trying to get to.
Do you have a proper country hat for Cash?
You know what? That's a good question. He actually has a cowboy hat. He He does. This is Cash for those of you tuning in.
Oh, look at him there. He's got his bow tie on now. Oh, Cash, you're so handsome, buddy. Cash, you pinch your nose.
Yes, he has a cowboy hat, and he has all kinds of little costumes and outfits. He's just a sweet little guy.
You're a cute little guy. He certainly is. The reason I brought it up is one of my sponsors is Gone Country Hats. And I was going to reach out to him and say, you know what, guys, you got to make a hat for Cash. I think that would just be great. For everybody who's watching, I usually only wear a Gone Country hat. And
nice.
Good job. Here you go. Look at that. Got a little bling on it. Makes it look good. I'm kind of a New York cowboy rather than a bona fide Southerner, although I lived there for 40 years, so I've earned my stripes by being picked on, kicked by mules, horses, thrown. I had a horse run me into the orange trees, so I learned my Southern skills quickly. I'm a quick study. After a horse kicks you into a barbed wire fence, you've learned a lesson that's very valuable. Do not walk behind a horse. My Southern friends, though, took great amusement in watching me. They'd put me in these scenarios where it was sure to be funny as hell watching me get dragged through the orange grove, feet and legs askew. And, and then the horse bit me on the ass one day. That was really fun. I didn't know that they would turn around and just bite you while you were putting hay in the thing next to them. For whatever reason, Velvet just looked at me and said, "Oh, nice ass." But two big ass teeth marks across my buttock. And, it's hard to explain that to your girlfriend. Hell.
That's really funny. I have a horse, and I love horses and horseback riding. Thankfully, I've never been bit by a horse.
Well, I'm glad he didn't know. You're not afraid in terror like I was.
Yeah.
Even from New York City, the closest I'd seen a horse probably in a long time was, I don't know, on the Beverly Hillbillies, maybe. I didn't know what to do with a horse, and my friends, they taught me the hard way. It's like there's another thing they do to Yankees, as they call us. They tell you that skull, which is a tobacco product that people put in their lip.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty disgusting, but whatever. Well, they convinced me that you could get high if you swallowed the juice. So here I am. I'm 18-year-old dumbass.
I was waiting for that.
And I'm sitting there, and they're going, "Yeah, you smile, put a little pinch between your cheek and gum, and then you swallow it as it salivates." And so I'm sitting there, and they're just like, "Look at that dumbass New York. He's sitting there. He's feeling too good, are you, there, boy?"
So
funny. That's mean.
It is. But,
that is mean. It's funny.
It is. But, I laugh at it now. At the time, I ended up so sick. And then when I went home and I asked my mom, I said, "What's that skull stuff?" And she looks at me. She goes, "Well, that's some crap the old Southern guys do down south, like during the Civil War." I'm like, "Well, the Civil War has been over for at least 120 years. I think we've got a problem here, Houston." And all my friends to this day who are involved in it, I do remember Jay Crocker was involved because it happened at the hardware store his father used to own, which we would spend time there, which for a New York kid, it was great. We'd shoot rats, which to me, I was like, wow, is that cool? Can I try? They were just like, "You're such an idiot, man. We're just shooting rats. What the fuck?" At any rate, so let me ask you, when are you planning to go back to Nashville? Do you have any short trip planned down there or anything like that? It's still too early to tell.
Still too early to tell. Honestly, I came back to Canada middle of June last year, and I thought that I'd be back in Nashville by the fall. So I left half my stuff with the friends that I live with down there, and we all thought I'd be back by September, October, just home for the summer in Canada. And here it is, April 1st, and I'm still in Canada. So it really depends, I guess, on the pandemic and when things open up in Canada, when I can get a work visa again. But I'm even in the meantime just to fly down for a trip once our travel restrictions lift a little bit more up here, and just get down there and do some shows, do some writes. Thankfully, I've been writing a lot with writers over Zoom and Skype and FaceTime, so still able to keep up the writing with Nashville writers and Canadian writers.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to be creative how we do it. So,
well, cool. Well, listen. It's really been great having you on. I have to say, next time I hope we can get you to play live. That would be awesome. Tell me this before we go. What kind of guitars do you play?
Well, I'm actually a keyboard player. Piano is my main. So like the piano that you hear in Household and any of the piano you hear in any of my songs is me in studio.
Right on, girl.
Yeah, so I'm classically trained and I actually teach music. I teach piano and voice, and I teach beginner guitar. I do play guitar, but I'm not like a guitarist. I just play.
I understand.
Yeah.
I just play one on television.
But piano is my main. Piano is, like a part of me, and so piano is what I do most of my writing on. And when I perform with my band, I usually do a couple songs per set on piano, on keys, and then usually like one or two with acoustic guitar, and then the rest I just don't play an instrument, so I can kind of dance around and have fun and relate to the audience more and stuff. And
great,
fun too.
Good.
Well, that's excellent. You're great. I think you'll do very well. And I'm sorry, I'm showing my nappy arm. Don't want to do that. Kind of ugly. Okay. Well, listen, what I'd say is, why don't you have your record coming out in the next few weeks? Didn't you say it's in the middle of the month, the 15th of my?
No, Household came out March 22nd.
Oh, March 22nd. Okay, I'm sorry. The medication's got me a little buzzed, so my short-term memory retention is a little off today, I confess. You're lucky because it's got me sedated enough that I'm just sitting here kind of going, I feel like Fred or Cash. I said that because my Frenchie is named Fred. He has his own page, and Fred's like got 30,000 fans. So on YouTube or wherever Fred goes, people follow. They just love him. And
dogs are the best. They really are.
Yeah. Well, my cats might take issue, but I'm a dog, cat. You name it. If you got an animal, I'm going to find a way to get along with it.
Yeah, and, all animals.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess I'm just checking to see if we have any other questions for you. Toby's just looking forward to hearing it. Terry, thanks for watching. So I guess that's all we have for today. And really, it's nice to hear from you. And stay in touch as you do more things. Let me know. And when you're heading south, let us know, because I'll see if I can introduce you to some of our friends down there. It's a very friendly town if you have the right folks in your corner.
And I want to let everybody know that Household, we have a special treat for you as soon as this episode is over with. So stay tuned, and you'll get to listen to Alecia's new song, Household. So coming up here after the show. Yes.
Nice. Well, thank you.
I'm just along for the ride.
All right, guys. Yep. I'll see you guys later. Bye, Cash.
Hey, buddy.
And stay tuned to this one, guys. Bye.